Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Mortgage Coaches Thursday Training. My name is Lytle, and I will be hosting today's call. And what's special today, we have Dave Savage, Mortgage Coaches CEO, on the call. Dave, would you like to say hello?
Hello, everybody, and it's good to be here.
So first what we're going to do is I'm going to go through GoToMeeting. For those of you who are new to our call, the way it works is open up the question area in GoToMeeting, and anytime throughout the call, please ask the questions and we'll be able to address those to you. And also in the chat box of GoToMeeting, we do have the links to Edge as well as the download for RateWatch and our mobile devices. So if you don't have those links, please check in the chat box and you can grab them there. And today what we're going to do is let's go ahead and we want to ask a couple poll questions. So Marcy, if you could go ahead and, or Dave, go ahead and launch those poll questions.
So have you downloaded the RateWatch mobile app? We want to know how many of you have taken action on this and actually got it downloaded. So the quicker everybody answers it, the quicker we can get into the rest of today's call. Again, have you downloaded the RateWatch mobile app? About half of you have voted, so come on. For those of you that are holding out, give us a quick vote and let's roll. All right. By the way, 80% have voted yes. So we've got a few holdouts or people that just don't know how to do it yet, Lori.
Okay, great. Let me go ahead and show you how to download the app. So currently I have the app open on my mobile device. You'll be able to see that on the screen. And to be able to get this on either your iOS device or an Android device, you would just go to your settings. Or your app store, excuse me. And then in your app store, you would want to do a search for Mortgage Coach. So if you go ahead and place that in there and then run that search, you'll get both our apps. You'll get the RateWatch app as well as our Mortgage Coach app to view our reports. So what you would want to do is go ahead and download, and then it will go ahead and direct you to open it. So let's go ahead and go back to our RateWatch. And with this app, you can also, it will be the same login ID and password that you use in Edge, and that's how you go ahead and log in. So Dave, if you want to go ahead and talk a little bit about the RateWatch app.
Yeah, perfect. So it looks like most of you have downloaded it, which we greatly appreciate. If you are getting value from it, we would love to have you give us a review on that. Let us know what you think. Our dev team and our design team and our entire organization has worked really hard on this Mortgage Coach innovation. So I think first thing to note is it's green. Green is good. That means rates are improving. Red is not so good. You know, green is happy, red is not. So I know a lot of members that I've been interviewing start the morning with Day Watch. So if you can click on Day Watch really quick. And this is just, you know, this is what's happening. This is your pulse of today's marketplace. It's a great way to have a conversation with a realtor or a borrower if you are trying to educate them and give them confidence that you've got your pulse on the market. You're a loan officer that they can trust and get advice from. No better way to tell them that and to show them that by pulling this out of your back pocket in an iPhone, Android device, and you're looking at an iPad, which we're having more and more loan officers and realtors actually have this on display in open houses, which is really cool. So another really cool feature, if you click on the menu item in the upper left-hand corner and you clicked on Edge Views, so it integrates with Edge. So every time that you send out an Edge report, if a buyer or a realtor or anybody opened it, you're going to get an alert. Obviously, in this particular account, we do not have an alert yet, but we can go back to past days and say, oh, what about this day? Or what about that day? And again, there's no guarantee that when Lori pulls up another day that we're gonna have anything, but nevertheless, you get an alert in your app. So right when it's happening, you're getting an alert in the app, and then you can click on that and call the person. So from a speed to lead perspective, it's really awesome. So one last thing I'd like to highlight today is the commentary. You know, we believe that, you know, expert loan officers know what's going on in the market, and just getting some quick hits around what's happening is important. So Dan Rawich gives an update. You'll get an alert in the app, and you'll have a place to go in to commentary, click on that video, and watch, you know, 2 to 4 minutes of Dan Rawich providing commentary to help you be an expert in the market. So what we recommend here is that you watch this every single morning, and then then you are an expert of the market. You understand forward-thinking concepts and market news that's coming up that's going to affect rates, and you understand what's happening today. So that when you're talking to a borrower, you're able to give them confidence and leadership, and when you're talking to realtors, you're able to give them confidence and leadership that you're the loan officer they should work with. So, I mean, we could dedicate an entire hour to this. Lori, is there anything else you want to highlight?
No, that is great. That's it. Just so if you want to do your settings, just want to be able to note that you'll be able to go in here and you can go ahead and place your phone number, your cell phone number, as well as identifying what you want to receive and also what time you want to receive those alerts. So you have all the settings right there within that home page right here. So that's it.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and take the screen real quick, walk you guys through a few things. So the expectation of this training is that everybody has downloaded both the Rate Watch and the Mortgage Coach app. So you are a Mortgage Coach leader and you've got advice in your back pocket. Also, for all of you that already have it and you're already getting value, please give us a review. I mean, it really does. It's how you say thank you to the Mortgage Coach team and all the people that work on our app. So please give us some feedback and we appreciate that. So as I said, Day Watch is a huge tool. Use it daily, and we've got a lot of member content coming in to support that. And this is not used to day trade on interest rates. This is there to help you provide confidence, to help people drive, go from floating to locking based off of intel and insight. So what I want to do is first I want to know how many of you were on Tuesday's call. So this Tuesday I did a call. I just launched a poll. The quicker you guys can answer that, the better. Were you on my Tuesday call? So very small percentage of you have voted. Come on, let's push it over 70%. But so far it looks like more no's than yeses. So, all right, one last push. All right. So most of you were not on that call. So I'm going to frame this in about 3 minutes. For those of you that said yes, sorry about a little bit of a repeat. But here's what we talked about on Tuesday, and then we're going to train you on how to do something today to take action on this market trend and something that's happening in the market. So on Saturday, I read Rod Chrisman's newsletter every day, and it started off, first article was just talking about millennials and how millennials don't have the same perception on homeownership as the boomers did. And that just made me think, oh man, good time to be a Mortgage Coach loan officer because we educate people on the value of owning versus renting. And I'm just like, man, Rob Chrisman should have a Mortgage Coach report in here. That's what was going through my head, Mr. Mortgage Coach. And then on Saturday, I get this, I call a rant. Tony Blodgett, a great leader in the mortgage industry. He was a superstar loan officer, and now he's a leader of great loan officers. And he did a whole rant around how in his market he's seeing more and more apartments popping up. And he's just like, we need to educate people on owning versus renting. And he put a big push on that. And I'm like, wow, great time to be a Mortgage Coach. Then on Monday, Tony actually did a rent versus own analysis, and he put it in Social Land. And I mean, he had a lot of realtors that shared it. He's had a lot more since then. He's had a number of buyers that have called up. I mean, it was a big win. So we talked about this on Tuesday just as like, this is a good idea that you guys should be making rent versus own analysis. So whether or not the buyer opens it on a desktop, whether they actually click on it from their iPhone or their Android device. And by the way, I did. I actually was reading Tony's Facebook post from my iPhone. I clicked on it from my iPhone. And by the way, this is an actual picture of Mortgage Coach on my iPhone. Or whether you click on that on an iPad, awesome advice. So this is the idea, guys. And so the concept that we can help you be more relevant to millennials because we're mobile, because we're helping you create videos and be authentic. We're helping you be more transparent and deliver education, and we're doing it with video. So whether you're doing this with borrowers or whether you're creating these experiences so they can be on display in open houses, this is the big idea today. So I'm going to turn it back to Lori so that you guys can go from being, hey, we've got this tool and this technology to we're doing it. We're implementing rent versus own analysis. So Lori, why don't you take the screen and teach us how to create these reports so that we can, everybody on the call can get value from it.
That's great. Just one moment. Let me go ahead and take the screen back. Okay, everyone should see my screen now. Do you see it?
Boom, I see your screen.
Okay.
It looks great.
Great. So today what we're going to do is jump in, create a rent versus own report. I'm going to show you how quickly it can be done with the least amount of fields. And then once we have it created, depending on our time, we could show you also how you could change this into a total cost analysis. So with that, I would like everyone to log into your Edge account if you're going to be following along with us. It's edge.mortgagecoach.com. Put in your email address and then your password. So with that, coming into Edge, we have our home screen, which is what you're viewing now. We have on the upper section here, these are our client-facing reports, and then which is the total cost analysis, as well as that rent versus own. In the lower area here, we have our partner-facing reports. This is the open house flyer as well as the seller buy-down. So we're going to be creating a report, and it's going to be a rent versus own, so we're going to work in the client section here. First thing I want to do to start out the report, go ahead and click on New Client, and that will start either a new total cost analysis or the rent versus own report. So coming through here, you can, I'm just going to show you the minimum amount of fields. Fridays, we do have an introduction to Edge for beginners. We go through every field on that class and be able to tell you what it's about and if you need it or not. So if you want more information about fields, sign up for the Friday class, and I'll show you where to do that at the end of the call. So coming through, let's go ahead and place our borrower's name. His name is Robert. Original, Jones. So coming through, if they had a co-borrower name, first and last, you would go ahead and place that in there. I have his phone number, so I'm going to go ahead and place that as well, but this isn't necessary if you don't want to. So this is where you control what report type. You click Own. This will create your total cost analysis. And if you have it marked Rent, this is creating that rent versus own report that we're doing. And because you have both of these buttons within the data record, you can create both reports with that one file. So they each have their own unique links, and at the end I'll be able to show you how you can convert it from a rent versus own to a total cost analysis. If you want to catch a referral, you could go ahead and do that. In the partner email area, this is to be able to send a secondary email alert to this person in the email address. A lot of times people want to put their partner on there. So if you want to put your realtor partner so they receive those email alerts, you could do so here. Or if you have a loan officer's assistant. So in this particular case, I am just putting a reference name of a purchase. So this way you can use this as a copy feature later. Now advancing the screen, you have your goals. So when you're talking to Robert, he would provide you goals. So you would be able to identify each of those. But in this particular case, I'm just going to move on because I just want to make this as quick as I can. So I'm putting in my rent of $1,500 and an annual rent increase of 3%. And if they have rentals insurance, go ahead and place that. That's just like comparing with homeowners insurance and taxes and any other kind of rent expense. So standard deduction, because the rent versus own is going to be showing us the tax advantage of a home ownership, you want to be able to put in that tax deduction. And if you don't know what it is, that's fine. I'll show you how you could do this process rather quickly. So if you click on that standard deduction, it takes you to a new web page, and then you just start the process with Begin. And remember, this report is prior to GFE, and it's just providing an estimate of their information. So I want to continue here. They're asking what tax year, so I'm putting 2013. Then they're asking me my status, and I'm single. So let's go ahead and put that in there and continue on. And then in the next screen, what is my filing status? I'm filing as a single for 2013. And yes, it does cover a 12-month period. You'll see this as you start doing this, it goes rather quickly. So you can put what their month, birthday month in here. So continue. Yes, they provide the half supports. No, I'm not blind. Almost there. There we go. So we have that amount. And as you start doing this, you'll start finding out that when you do single standard information, that figure is 6,100. So as you start doing those, you can just easily slip it in here. and then you're done. So now we're moving on to our next page, and the only information I have to key in is our tax bracket. So to find a tax bracket, again, if you don't know it, that's fine. Click on that tax bracket button. It brings you to a new web page. We want the tax year of 2013. I'm single, and so I make $95,000, so let's go ahead. I'm at the 28% tax bracket. So I'm going to take that information and place it in here. I also want to point out, if you're working with MCC tax credits, we do have the capability of placing that credit within your report, and you can go ahead and do a comparison, one with and one without. So you can really show that tax advantage of having that MCC tax credit. Moving on, I'm going to go ahead. If you want to fill in this information, you can, but it's not necessary to create the report. So that just shows you really quick, those first 4 screens, minimal data, we're just now into the heart of our product. So let's go ahead and just show an FHA and a conventional product on this report. So in my label, I'm putting 3.5% down. And I'm showing you how to do this quickly. You want to have your product and fee templates created. So I'm going to go in and choose my product template of FHA 3.5% down. You'll see with that information, let's go ahead and put in a loan amount of $350,000. And you'll see with that template that I just used, it defaulted my 3.5%, my term, and also the button yes for an FHA program. So once I key in my interest rate, I can move on to the next screen. And now you'll see all my fees happen to be carried over. The defaults for the upfront MI is part of that product template. And these fees, I have tied my fees as well to my template. So you could do that again. It's going to speed you through the process on creating a report. But just to show you, I'm going to go ahead and click on my closing cost details. I have my fees already pulled down, but I have a lot of fee templates. So if I wanted to use a fee template, I would just go ahead and grab it, bring it down, make any kind of modifications I need, and then I apply it to the loan. So again, it's very helpful to get through the creating a report by having those fee templates. And now when I advance to my monthly cost screen, you'll see that I have all my monthly costs already defaulted. And again, that's part of that template, as well as my reserve months and collecting 12 months premium. So the more you build out these templates, the quicker you are going to be able to get through creating an Edge report. So now we already have our one report created, so let's add a second report. And to do that, or a second product. So I'm going to click on Add Another Product, and let's place on a conventional product. So I'm doing a conventional 5% down. I'm going to use my template. So conventional 5% down. Let's put in our loan amount. And you can see I defaulted the 5% down, $360. And you notice in this particular case, my interest rate populated. That is part of my template. You can place that in there, or I tend to like having it empty because that is a valuable field that I like to make sure I'm putting in the correct data there. So moving on, again, I have all my fees created or pulled down from my template. But again, you would just come in here, grab your fee template, place it in here, make modifications, and go. The prepaid interest is part of your default for that product template. And just to show you the points field, you can go ahead and put a credit in for your points. If you put in, hover your mouse over that field, you'll see how that dollar amount will display. Yes, Marianne, I have a question, and Marianne is asking if I could show her how to do an open house flyer that will grab the borrower's attention. Definitely, what we could do after we're finished with the rent versus own, I could show you how I could take these exact products with the loan amount and be able to create an open house flyer rather quickly. So as I'm going to advance along, my monthly costs, again with my reserves, everything was defaulted. So that's how quick it is. So really take the time to build out those product templates and fee templates. So, okay, so I have these two. Wow, Marianne's getting on a roll. Okay. Okay, Sean is asking a question about the LTV being 98.19. I will check into that, Sean, in a little bit and move on. Okay, Marianne wants me to show 4 products. Okay, Marianne, let's go. Okay, let's go ahead and I'll put on a VA product. So let's put on a VA on here. And again, you'll be able to put the products that you know. I like putting the different products so you'll be able to see the different ways that you could place it into Edge. So I'm going to put a VA loan with 0 down. And I don't believe I have a VA template created. No, I don't. So I'll be able to show you really quick how to create that. So I'm putting in 350,000. I'm keeping it 0 down. 4 1/4, 360. Make sure you mark that VA FHA yes as a program. And the reason for that, as you advance the screen, that controls your upfront MI field. So if you're doing any kind of single premium for that on conventional loans or with the VA funding fee, and I believe that upfront amount is 2.25. So Marion, if it's different, can you please let me know? So you have it here, and I'm going to go ahead and add MI to the loan amount. Then I'm going to add 15 days of prepaid interest. And the reason why you want to fill in all this information and make sure you get your prepaid interest is because that is part of the product template. And I'll show you at the very end of this product how to do that, and you'll have it set for the next loans you're doing. So now with this, let's go ahead and pull a fee template. I'm just going to go ahead and use my FHA. And if you needed to add any fees, you could go ahead and add fees in this particular case. I'm just going to add a credit report just to be able to show you the difference. And I know there'll be different fees for FHA versus VA versus conventional. So say I have a credit report, I'm going to have it at $35. I've just taken an FHA template. I would modify it in a way, so if my appraisal fee was different. Once you have done this, this is the quickest way to go ahead and create templates. So now I could go ahead and press Save as Template. And I'm going to say VA fees, and I'm putting in today's date. You don't have to. I just do it this way so I'll be able to see in my drop down, and you can see that template as well. If you originate in multiple states, you could go ahead and identify that fee template by that state and build out your fee templates that way as well. Once I press OK, you'll now see that my fee template is now in the drop down, and you have access to that on future products. So once you have created it, and for those of you who haven't created fee templates, best way to create a fee template is to get a fee sheet from your LOS system. It will have the fee description, your dollar amount, as well as if it's an APR item. So once you have that, you could just come in here and create those fee templates rather quickly. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply it to the loan, and all that information carried over. So this is, I'm also going to be showing you, notice how my prepaid escrows is 0 because it was part of my default. When I advance the screen, we'll be able to fill out this information here, and it will be part of your product template. So I'm going to open up my items here, and that's just by clicking on the middle button. So let's go ahead and put an estimate of 0.35 for hazard and 1.25 for taxes. We don't have any mortgage insurance. And I want to collect 2 months of hazard, 4 months of taxes, and my 12 months premium. So with that, they want to show 4 products. I'm going to show you to add 1 more product, and I'm going to do this as a cost of weight. And again, you know, some different products on here, but this way it gives you an idea and an understanding of how creating each of these products when you create a loan. So I'm going to do a cost of weight, and the only difference here is I'm going to go ahead and do use my copy from button this time, not my template. In my drop down, I'm going to do the duplicate of my conventional product here. I'm going to press OK. You'll notice all that data carried over, my interest rate, my down payment, everything that is the same. The difference I'm going to do is on my conventional loan, which I have a feeling I have the wrong loan amount here. No one caught that. I want to be able to just show an increase of an interest rate. So I currently have it at 4.5. So let's go ahead and put it at 5 1/4. And you can do a comparison just of one of the two. How about 350,000? That's the problem with, I can't get in. That's the problem with my conventional one, Marianne. See how that payment is just a little too low. I missed a 0. So before I move on, let me go ahead and fix that conventional product. So I'll show you how. Hover your mouse. I'm going to go ahead and jump into my conventional product and correct that loan amount. And you'll see as I go back to my products and check the cost of weight. I've updated that product, and you'll also see the 5 1/4 one right next to it. Let's go ahead and advance, and let's place in our, I copied everything over. Fees are going to be the same. And now let's go ahead, and we have our monthly cost as well already, because we did a complete copy of that conventional. All we had to do is change that rate. So with that, we have 4 products now on our report. And with that VA template, also to let you know, or if you wanted to save anything, you have a product template button right here. So if you, on the last screen of every product, just press save and enter what you want to call that product and press OK. And you can use that on your future products. So that's another way of quickly building those templates to be able to get you through Edge a lot quicker. So now let's go to our analysis screen. You have a property appreciation rate. I'm going to go ahead and place 2% in that field. Again, you want to know what it is in your area to place that number. Short-term, long-term, short-term area, we're showing the rent versus principal paid. You can also show the rent versus tax benefit, as well as tax benefit analysis. So you have all those different options, and once you hold that conversation with the borrower, you'll be able to adjust these numbers. So right now I'm showing the short term of 5 years. If you know they're not going to be moving to, say, 7 years, change this number to 84 months. So that's how you can customize the report around your client's needs and their goals. So the same thing with the long term on the 15-year. You have a total principal paid to show. Total net worth, if you're using that reinvestment strategy, definitely want to use that one. Or the total interest and MI paid. This is a really good one to be able to show those first-time home buyers because they're not understanding that interest and mortgage insurance. So this is a good way of showing them and also comparing it to rent. So with that, just to give you a sneak peek on the readjustment strategy, you do have an option to go in here. And just to show you, if I place that savings of $197, you could see how it will adjust your freedom point and show how much quicker they can pay off that loan. So I'm going to go ahead. You also have the option to be able to reinvest any savings into a savings account as well as an investment balance. And we have a great video tutorial on this that will be able to walk you through it, as well as reinvesting your mortgage insurance and doing lump sum payments. Moving on, we're going to come to our contact information. Feel comfortable putting an email address in. We do not email anything. You have to actually copy the link and send it out. So this data fields of capturing more of their client information. Now I want to go to the property address. If you have a property address, you could go ahead and display it. Some people, because of security, might not want to put that property address, or there's sometimes you just don't know that address yet. So I'm going to go ahead and just use that as a label. Great time to buy. You can also put, if they're looking in a particular city, you could go ahead and place that city's name in there, and this will be part of your report. So you'll be able to see that on the header. So moving to our next screen, you have our almost done, where you have the rent versus own report that we're doing. Just to point out, you do have an option to look at an amortization schedule as well. So now in our payment notes section here, let's go ahead and place an estimated taxes and insurance included in your payment. And with that, this is a compliance piece that you want to be able to add to it. So if you're not including taxes and insurance, make sure you just put are not. If you're on an enterprise account, this might be filled out for you. So just take a look at that area and make sure you get that filled out. Moving on, it's just a quick review of each of those screens again. If you want to make any kind of adjustments, you could go ahead and do it at that time. So rather quickly, we just finished and created our report. So I'm going to add a quote date to it. And you can click on preview, but what I'm going to do is click on generate link. And with that, I want to point out this is the link that you're going to want to send to your client and in an email, and this is what they'll click on to view the report. But before we do any of that, let's go ahead and show you how to add an audio video. As you see, I clicked on that button. It's going to go ahead and bring up that report. So this gives you a quick look at our report we just created. And if you'll notice in the lower left-hand corner, we have the record message button. So if you click on that, I'm going to go ahead and press allow. And hi everyone, my name is Lytle. So with this, you want to be able to reach out to your client, provide them a message, introduce yourself with it, probably not use a headset, sort of kills it, but provide that information to them, explaining the report, and then again, do a call to action. So every report should always have a video. Also, we have it, so if you don't have a camera, you can do an audio also. So either way, you need to do a video or an audio. It makes it a powerful presentation. So you could click here and you would just have an audio piece on your report. So both the audio and the video will open up the first thing when they view the report and be able to hear your message. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of that. Let me bring you back to Edge real quick, and I'm going to be having Dave jump on the call just in a moment. So what I'm going to do is pull up the button Edge Live, which is also the same as that preview button. So I just wanted to let you know that's the reason why I just went into Generate Link. So let's go ahead and bring up the report. And Dave, do you want to give a little bit of talk here? Right there.
Yeah, so first of all, I would love feedback from folks who are creating these types of reports. How often are you doing it? How are you using it? A rent versus own is a great strategy to share with a realtor who's doing an entry-level open house. So for a property that's a candidate for a rent versus own, you want to make sure that this is a resource for them to take people who are coming into the open house and turn them into leads. Let's face it, every time a realtor does an open house, they want to get a few leads from local neighbors who might want to sell their home, and they want to get leads from people that want to buy it. So the more that you can arm people with mortgage strategies, not just rate quotes, the better off you are. So feel free to share in chat what you're doing and how you're doing it. We'd just love to have a little conversation around that. And Laura, you're doing a great job, and I just recommend to keep rolling. One last thought is to make sure that you go through the mobile experience. Make sure that you have a rent versus own in your mobile app so that when you're talking to the right borrower or having the right conversation with a realtor, you could just open up your app and you could, there's a history option. You've got a rent versus own as one of those history options, and you can start telling a rent versus own story while you're having that conversation. So Laura, it might be kind of cool as we wrap up the call at some point to pull up, a rent versus own on your mobile device and walk them through that.
Yes, I have it all set to go with the mobile app, so we'll be able to show it. So with this report, be able to go through it, I also want to be able to show you Edge Live. So with that, I'm going to open up a new tab, and if you saw, I'm sorry, I'm bouncing around the screens. If you notice at the very bottom right-hand corner, you do have a print and a save button, but you also have this share button, and this is a great way to be able to do a copy and paste and grab that link rather quickly. So I'm pressing OK, going into my new tab, and pasting that link. So once I press return, this is the experience that your client will have. As soon as they click on the link, they're going to get the notice on the disclaimer. And just to be able to bring up that same piece, let me bring up my mobile. Whoops, just one moment. Bring up the mobile thing so you can see the exact same thing on both devices. Whoops. Just one moment. There we go. I have it up. And I'm going to press I understand here on my desktop. And just to bring over the mobile device, I have the link in here. I press return, and my report's going to go ahead and display as well. So let me go ahead and bring that back up. And I'm also going to use two screens real quick. So let me go ahead and provide that to you. Okay, so now you should see both of my screens right now. So I have the mobile app on the left-hand side, as well as the desktop version on the right-hand side. So these are the two style reports that the viewer will be able to see. So if they're at home, have their laptop open, they'll be able to see what's on the right-hand side, and on the mobile devices, they'll be able to see what's on the left-hand side. And both, you can derive the report for them. So if they're out in the field or not at that desk, they'd be able to see your, all the information you're providing them on the mobile device. So one thing I want to point out, and then we're going to go back to our preview report, you'll notice at the very base here there is no clear all button. So if you look at our report that we have here, the let me move this back down. You'll see at the base there's a clear all button on the left-hand side, but not on the right-hand side. And the reason for that is the left-hand side is your copy. So say you're having that conversation with the consumer, and I'm clicking on those fields to be able to show them. And I got the wrong report up, sorry. Nope, that's it. So it will be able to go ahead and highlight on the opposite side as well. So let me go ahead and click on the report, and let's show you how it drives with the on the mobile device. So as soon as you click on any of those fields, you'll notice that on the mobile device it is following along as well. So if you wanted to talk to them about what their loan amount is, because we do have a couple different down payment options, so you want to be able to discuss that, as well as the interest rate. But you can see how by driving it, the report on the right-hand side, they'll be able to follow along as well. So you'll be able to discuss their total payment. They can also talk about that tax benefit, as well as the benefit of the amount of principal each month that is going toward them. So these are the benefits that they're receiving out of having a home. So with that, at the end result, this is the net monthly payment. So this is really the money that's going to your interest and mortgage insurance. So that's what we're displaying here. In the sense, it's your unrecoverable costs. So with that, this is the rent's unrecoverable costs. You're always throwing that amount away. I did have that monthly insurance of $50, so that's why it's down a little bit. But you could now show the borrower the actual comparison. So with the rent, they could be paying almost closely the same amount of money in the rent. This is the net amount. But you can see how much more benefit they're going to get. They're going to get a tax benefit each year. They're also going to start building wealth through the principal amount being built up. So you'll be able to really educate the consumer about the mortgage loan and about their choices, especially with those first-time home buyers. They don't know this information, and you as a loan officer, you'll be able to help them educate them about that this information. And again, with Edge Live, you'd be able to drive all that information to them, be able to hold the discussion with them, and have them follow along with you on that conversation. So I'm going to go ahead and close out. The other thing I wanted to show you is the Clear All button, which clears out all the highlights at one time. So Dave, do you want to put any, jump in, add any kind of comments to this?
No, I think well, I'll add a few comments. I think you're doing a great job. I mean, I want to make sure that everybody you're not only driving mobile experiences yourself, you are very comfortable and confident when you're meeting with a realtor or a home buyer to drive a mobile experience on their mobile device. So think of it like this way. You sent them the link. Ask them, did you open this on your mobile device or are you open on your desktop? That question created awareness. Let's say they did open it on their mobile device. And by the way, if you're on this call, pull out your mobile device and click on it. So Lori, just click on summary. You want to get people to interact, have a multi-sensory experience so they learn. Lori, if you could just pinch in and show how people can just pinch in to the details. So I want you to click on payment details. If you could click on payment details and then go to the graph in the upper right-hand corner, so that you're not only showing the details and the numbers, you're showing them images. So boom, the graph. Now Lori, swipe back to the beginning. Just boom. Again, that's a hand swipe. So when you're showing mobile options and you actually get someone to learn how to use this device, I'm telling you right now, one, they're going to be wowed, and two, every other loan officer is just going to feel inferior to how you're delivering advice. So it's important that you not only create these reports, it's important that you're able to have a confident conversation, whether it's a home buyer or a realtor, around how to get through this. And once you've taught them how to do it, they are a customer for life, because every other loan officer is not delivering information and advice with this much transparency. Again, millennials love transparency, and the new generation wants transparency. They love their mobile devices because that's where they're doing life. Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram. That's life. You know, when they're shopping for homes on Zillow, you know, they are doing life on their mobile devices, and now you're giving mortgage options on their mobile devices. That's how you get clients for life. That's how you differentiate in today's market. So I think it's been awesome, and I'll let you keep going. And hopefully everybody on this call, you're not only going to create a rent versus own like today, immediately after this call, but you're gonna get comfortable and confident in telling mortgage stories and showing mortgage strategies on your mobile devices.
Okay, so first off, let me go ahead and check the questions and see if there are any. Okay, just one moment, go back to the screen. Okay, so I have a few questions here, so just one moment. Oh, great. Yes, Michael, I'm glad you're enjoying this presentation. And yes, it is recorded, and I'll show you at the very end where we host all our recording calls. Good one. Okay, I got your information, Dexter. Let's see, your iPad's remote usage is limited. Okay, I'll be able to, Dexter was providing some information about the iPad and iPhone. I'll go ahead and get that to our IT, and especially with the GoToMeeting. So, okay, we'll address that later. So, with this, so now you have this rent versus ownership. So you have this report, and now you want to change it into a total cost analysis. So it's really easy to do. All you have to do is go back to your Edge account. I'm going to close out here. And let's go to the first screen, our client screen. So this is how we were talked initially. This is creating the rent versus own report. Now I want to click it on own. And the only difference is if I advance my screen, this screen, our goal screen, is different. I want to mark it purchase a new home. If you're using Edge and building all the information out, go ahead and fill out all the other items on there if you're doing a refinance. And let's go ahead and put in our purchase price of $350,000. And this screen wasn't in the rent versus own. So you have, these are the two differences, and that's it. If we could continue on, it's the exact same screens that you had for the rent versus own, and then you have your product. So everything that you have built out with the rent versus own can be used for the TCA. So with this, let me do a little twist. Let's go ahead, and I am going to my select report. And I don't want to show my cost of weight product on here. I just want to keep it as the 3 products. So this is how you can exclude a product from the report, as well as you could build a report and leave a product off. So when you're talking to the client, working with Edge Live, you can come in here and add that product back on and show them that product. So you can really work interactively with the products you want to be able to show the consumer and be able to add and subtract them on your report. Next, I want to go into our analysis screen, and let's work with that adjustment reinvestment strategy. So let's click on that. And what I want to do, here's all our savings compared to our FHA. And our poor FHA just has that mortgage insurance, and it's just never going to compete. So you have this information. I just want to be able to reinvest my mortgage insurance for the conventional. So to show you how to do that, I'm double-clicking on the field. And you'll see at the very base of this screen here, MI cutoff month, 112 months, and how much it is. So at this point in time, the 111th month was the last month MI was on the loan, and I want to reinvest. They've been making that payment this whole time. Let's go ahead and continue making that payment, and it gets applied to principal. I can't type it. So this is how you can reinvest mortgage insurance. So you just identify the month, which we provide you, and then the dollar amount. Just to show you real quick, if you wanted to do a lump sum payment, if I click on add, you could identify the time period you want that to happen. So say at the 7th year, for some reason, they know they're coming in with $100,000. Or maybe $1 million. No. So you'll be able to show that. But the one thing you have to always remember is the following month, you would need to place it at 0. And the reason for that, if you did not, you would have $100,000 being applied to principal each year or each month. So with that, let's go ahead and delete that line item. Same with our zeroed out. So I just want to be able to show you how you could really work with this additional screen here by investing in MI as well as being able to do a lump sum payment. So I clicked on that. Now you'll see that the screen here, it just says custom now. You just double click and go into it. But by reinvesting that MI when it drops, you can see that they now have a little less than 27 years. So it's nice to be able to show them that, show them how you'll be able to apply additional principal to the payment. And same like if you want to just go ahead and put that 307.13, you could go ahead and show that as well. And you can see making that same level payment, they would have a little less than 23 years to pay. So this is how you can really show them how to be able to apply additional money, even if you want to be able to show them how to pay that loan off in a 15-year term. You'd be able to give them that kind of information surrounding that. So it's a really powerful screen that you'd be able to work with here and be able to provide more information to your client. So again, with those same items, you could also double-click, reinvest that MI into an investment account or a savings account, and again, those lump sum payments too. So with that, let's press OK. So we have modified our adjustment strategy, and we have removed a product. So let's go ahead and check out our report now. It's a total cost analysis. It is a different link, so I have to put a quote date on it because it is a different report. Now I'll use the preview button, so let's go ahead and take a look. You'll see how I removed that product. And now let's go into the more info button, and let's take a look at that reinvestment strategy. So if I'm going to click on the reinvestment strategy, you can see right here where I have that savings up above being reinvested. And if I click on that custom button, I'll be able to go through that conversation with the borrower and be able to show them what I have done about reinvesting that mortgage insurance. So you have that information there, and if you notice I'm doing highlighting, and the way I do that is just by hovering my mouse over the field. You'll see that the field is outlined in blue. Then you just want to go ahead and left click, and that does the highlights. I also want to let you know you can do that on the title as well, and each of the columns will highlight. And remember, you always have that clear all button, and it will go ahead and clear out those highlights rather quickly for you. So before I move on, Dave, is there anything else you want to surround about the total cost and the rent first own?
No, I think you're doing a great job. Hey, Marcy, if you could add a poll question as we wrap up today's call. I want to know how many people on the call have actually walked a borrower or a realtor through loan options on a mobile device, yes or no? So have you walked a borrower or a realtor through loan options on a mobile device, yes or no? I want to get a feel for, is that something that everybody is doing and confident with, or is that something that, you know, you're just hearing it now and you're taking action? So Marcy, if you could add that poll question, I'll keep an eye out for it, and everybody would really like to know where you're at there. Go ahead, Lori.
Okay, great. So now you have this great presentation for your clients. So you have that. What if you want to also be able to use that with your open house flyer in those same products and be able to loop in your realtor as well? So what I want to do is go into each of these products, and this can go in the opposite order. If you're working on a open house, you could do the same process to bring it in for your TCA or rent versus zone. What you want to do is go to the Save as Template button. When you come in here, I just like to be able to show it as product 1, and then I'm going to press OK. What I have just done is taken all my data from this product and saved it as a template. And let's do that with the other 2 products. So let's save it as a template, and I'm just going to label this one as product 2. And then let's do it for product 3. And I'm cheating. I'm going to my analysis screen, going back one screen and getting the Save as Template. So as you get to learn Edge, you'll know the quicker way of moving around and getting to your fields much quicker. Okay, so now I've created all those products, and just to be able to show you what they look like, if I clicked on my down arrow for my products, I will now see those 3 products that I created as a template. So now let's move out to our home screen, and I want to start a new partner. This would be for the realtor partner, and I know, Marianne, you wanted to walk through this. I'm going to do the basics. I'll show you how to load a photo. I don't have an image right now, and due to time, I don't want to pull it from the report, but let me show you how a quick way of doing it. So I'm going to put in Ron Realtor. I want my friendly name field. This is where you would put the street address. And you definitely want to get in the habit of doing this, everyone, because this is the feature you can copy from, and you don't have to upload Ron's information each time. So this is also will help you speed through that process, and that's through a copy function we have in our filters area. So once I move on, just go ahead and enter your street address. Whoops. And zip code, and we'll move on. You would put in your asking price, so whatever the amount would be. Same with the square footage, 2,100. It has 3 bedrooms and 2.5 baths. So this is where you would want to put in your more features. You would go ahead and identify all the items that they have in this area. And you also, I just want to point out, you also have your custom features here. So if you go ahead and put whatever type of information here, I'll show you how it will appear on the report as well. So you definitely want to come through, identify all this information, and then once you press OK, that will be part of your report. So when you move on, you would have the image of your house. You would go ahead and just browse, get that image for you, and then bring it up into this and load it down here. Then when you advance the screen, you come to the product. So this is what I want to show you to understand how easy it is when you start using these templates. So if I type in FHA 3.5% down, I'm coming to my product templates. I'm typing P, and let's choose that product 1. You'll see all my data, my rate, everything carried over. Advance the screen, all my fee details carried over. I want it the same, so I'm not touching anything, and my monthly costs. So I didn't have to touch anything. I just created actually 2 reports, the rent versus own, TCA, and now I'm in my open house flyer. So let's add those other 2 products. So let's do conventional, 5% down. Let's go to that product template, type P, and choose product 2. And I should have put in my loan amount first. So let's go ahead and do that. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and select product 2. See how all the data carry down. So remember, make sure you have that purchase price in there first. All my fees carried and my monthly costs. Add another product. Let's put that VA 0 down on there. Let's go to that temp. Whoops. I almost made the same mistake. Let's put in the 350,000. Let's grab that product template. Pulled everything down for me. Actually, I want to 0 down on here. Move on. Fees carried over, as well as all my monthly costs. So it can be really quick once you do create 1 report to be able to create 3 reports at the same time using those products. So keeping everything the same here. This is where you would have all the contact information of the realtor. Again, due to time, I wasn't planning to build this out, but you would just fill this information in here and then upload their headshot logo. Again, quite simple process to do. And we want to do an open house flyer. If I wanted to remove a product, you could do that, just like on the rent versus own total cost. So now with the presentation title, you just want to be able to great location, whatever you want to be able to place as your presentation title. A lot of times on the listings, they have something you might want to be able to put their description here. So you want to be able to put asking price here. We have this automatically in there. Put something in. I'll show you on the report where that will display. And again, back to our compliance notes, estimated taxes and insurance. Whoops. There we go. In your payment, not payment. Sorry. Okay, so now as we move on, this is where if you had the image, you would select the image of your open house. And let's put on a quote date. I know it's going to look a little plain, and this isn't, you know, we always like the images on it, but I just want to be able to show you how quick it is to create the report and duplicated the products just the same as your total cost analysis and the rent versus own. This is the property features over on the right-hand side here. So if you added more custom features, you would be able to see them listed here. And I wanted to point out with these payment notes, you'll see the double asterisk. It goes to that payment amount here. And with that, you'll have your payment notes. You'll see that there's some extra room. So if you want to also put a little bit of information about that house, you can do it in this location here. Not a lot of space, keep it short, but I just want to be able to identify it. Here's our presentation title. There's that great location. I see a lot of reports coming through with the support, and they forget to put this on. Same with that asking price. And it looks a little plain, and you want that open house flyer to really have as much information on there. So make sure you put in that presentation title as well as that asking price. So Dave, do you have any comments that you would like to add and join?
Yeah, so hey, great training today. You've taught a lot of great things. Do you want to get this poll question answered? You know, have you walked a borrower or a realtor through loan options on a mobile device? So this could be an open house. This could be an open rent versus own scenario. This any type of story where you're saying, hey, I help, you know, deliver value to your clients. I help drive urgency in the sales process. You know, have you done that in a mobile way? So it looks like, first of all, half of you have voted. 80% are saying no, 20% are saying yes. Let's push it up over 70%, folks. Come on, give us a vote. Let us know where you're at. So good. It looks like we have a big opportunity to improve in this way. Homework assignment for everybody is take action. You know, what Lori has shown you today, it's only going to be valuable if you actually go through the experience and you create these reports today. Tomorrow you're going to forget about this call. So take action today, schedule a to-do on your list, and make a mortgage coach habit. So that's my, you know, those were some of my thoughts, and Lori, I'll let you wrap it up.
Oh, definitely. And just the fact that 80% aren't using walking them through. Edge Live, just create a report, send it to a co-borrower, a friend, a spouse, work with Edge Live. Once you start practicing with it and be able to really see how you can drive that conversation with the borrower and really help them make the best choice on their loan option. So get in there, dive into Edge Live, and learn how to work it. The other thing I want to point out is I'm clicking on the Help button in our Edge account. So if you go ahead and click on that, it brings you to our knowledge base. And this is where I was talking to you about the video tutorials. Here's one on the reinvestment strategy, how to read the TCA. We have so many here as well as the search engine. But I also wanted to point out our coaching call archive page. This is where all the calls will be recorded. Click here. If you haven't, a lot of people weren't on that Tuesday coaching call. This is how you can go ahead and click on it and be able to join, register for the call, and you'll get reminders each week. We also have the Thursday training, which you're already signed up for. And then we also have our past Tuesday call listed here, as same as our Thursday trainings. The other item I want to do is just move back to the home page. We have also our month event calendar. So if you click on that, you'll be able to see all the topics of our Tuesday coaching calls. And toward the base is that Friday introduction for Edge Beginners course. So if you want more of a basic understanding of Edge, go ahead and attend this class, click on that, and you'll be registered, and we'll be happy to see you on that call. So Dave, let's go ahead and wrap it up. And I do have a comment from Lisa. And yes, our calls, our Thursday training and Friday intro are both at 9 a.m. Same with our Tuesday coaching calls. So
yeah. So again, every Tuesday we're sharing ideas, and those are recorded, and those are in our YouTube channel and on our support page. And these calls are, again, 9 o'clock, Tuesday, Thursday, and for beginners, Friday. So, hey, Lori, great training. For those of you that are new to the call, I saw a few of that. Welcome to the Mortgage Coach team, and we can't wait to hear how you're using our solutions and products to drive value in the market. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and look forward to seeing a lot of you on the Tuesday call.
Thank you, everyone. We'll see you back next Thursday. Have a good day.